Hey folks, today's video we're going to talk about one of the stupidest things that Sony has done in the last few weeks, which is making players who play on Steam link their Steam accounts to a PlayStation account in order to play Helldivers 2. Sony is saying that all of this is due to account linking as a critical role in protecting our players, which is bullshit and everyone knows it. For starters, Steam players are not playing on the PlayStation console, and a good chunk of those players probably don't even own one. The big issue is that there is over 190 independent countries that don't allow or have restricted access to the PlayStation network, but in these countries you can buy Helldivers 2 via Steam. Seeing as Sony thought that this was a good idea to implement into their biggest game of 2024 so far, as Days Gone, God of War, Horizon Forbidden West, or even the Spider-Man series of games, which are all available on Steam, do not require you to link your PlayStation account to your Steam account. It's all done just so Sony can go, this many people signed up for PlayStation in this quarter, blah blah blah. This is another huge L for Sony, as they've taken a huge hit game and basically just gone, fuck you to PC players. Since the start of this game's release way back in February, players could skip the link account section, which everyone thought was normal and that it wasn't going to be required. This morning on Discord, Baskinator, she posted this info about account linking. It's like a Q&A thread of things that have popped up, but they still do not answer the actual question that tens of thousands of people have asked. I live in a country where PlayStation Network is not available. How can I do this? And you want to know how they responded? PSN requires users to register in their country or territory of residence. Individuals who are traveling, working, or studying abroad may create an account in a country or territory different from the one in which they are currently located. This is not the answer to the main question, and the main reason why everybody is angry over this whole thing. What about the players who live in the Baltic states or Belarus, for example? They still cannot get a PlayStation Network account. If they use a VPN or make an account in a different country, they can have their account terminated due to Sony's TOS for false credentials. They're telling people, oh, you can do this, but they'll get their account banned. We even have people showing that they have been banned in the last 24 hours trying to create an account so they could play the game. It's absolutely ridiculous. Someone posted this on Twitter X and also on Reddit. It's been on the store page since day one. To which Pirate Software replied with the best understanding for this whole thing. And it hasn't been enforced in any capacity until months after release and tens of thousands of sales to Steam customers, which will now lose access to the game unless we make accounts on PSN, not earning points here. This is 1,000,000% it. If this was a requirement and needs to be done or you cannot play the game, they should not have had this game on sale in the countries where the PSN is not there. Tens of thousands of players have bought this game and more than likely 40, maybe even 50% of those players don't have a PlayStation account due to it not being available in their country. Sadly, as we were saying about the VPN to set up the account in a different country, as if we go by the Sony user agreement, you can be banned, which is just absurd and messed up. Now on to the blame game. Discord, Reddit, and other social media sites, Arrowhead have been having a kick-in. The game has been reviewed bomb into eternity, which I understand and totally get, but overall, sadly, that's not going to hurt Sony. Sony don't give a shit, and the way to hurt Sony is to ask them for refunds for the game via Steam. Somehow. As we just showed, the Steam page does have the required third-party account, PS account required, to which they will probably try and be like, well, it states on this page that you needed one, so we can't give you a refund, as it clearly states there, which is bullshit. As mentioned earlier, none of the other Sony-owned games, God of War, Days Gone, Spider-Man, etc., none of them require or even state on their Steam pages that you need a PSN account. Another issue as well is Spitz on Discord, one of the community managers. Some of the things that Spitz said yesterday, like this one by here, is just absolutely absurd. But it does seem to be that there's been an internal talking, and now we have this one by here. Spitz put this out this morning. Yeah, I was completely unaware how many countries didn't have the ability to make a PSN account when I made that statement. I deeply regret implying that it was so easy for everyone to just sign up and not have to worry about it. It's absolutely not our intention to force players to break Sony's TOS or just not play the game if they're in a restricted region. There needs to be a better solution. To which is exactly true. You know, like the one we just showed before I just read you this one. It's absolutely absurd that a community manager of a game wouldn't even do a little bit of investigation to see that, oh, only 69 countries can actually have the PlayStation Network. But then if you go forward a little bit more after they made that one, this one came out as well. Players making their displeasure known through reviews, refunds, etc. gives us more pull in a discussion with Sony. They don't read our Discord. It hurts to see the game's popularity suffer in ratings, but discussions are ongoing and our team is on the side of the players in this fight. It's unrealistic to expect people to make PSN accounts in different regions to get past the account linking requirement. We're aware of that. Discussions are ongoing. And there's a few more by here which I will put up on screen, as it does seem to be now that Arrowhead are trying to actually fix this scenario, which is good to see. But this overall thing does hurt Sony, and by consequence, it does hurt Arrowhead. And Johan, the CEO, even posted this on Twitter X. Ouch. Right in the review score. Well, I guess is warranted. Sorry everyone for how this all transpired. I hope we will make it up and regain the trust by providing a continued great gaming experience. I just want to make great games. Now at the time of this recording, it is currently 10 to 3 in the afternoon UK time. And normally around this time on the weekend, for the last couple of weekends, the players have been in the 200,000 to 300,000 playing Helldivers. At this moment in time, there's less than 120,000 players. That's just insane to see how such a huge hit game has gone down just because the publisher has basically just gone fuck you to everyone. It's absolutely sad and disgusting to see. I do hope that this can be handled soon, but I just can't see it happening. Mostly because if Sony now come out and say they do not need an account to do it, why say it in the first place? Why get everyone riled up? And now, even if they don't need to link an account, the majority of these people who are complaining, they won't be back. You've literally gone and said bye-bye to them. That's your fault, Sony. You have literally made the biggest game of this year turn into one of the worst games of the year. It's absolutely just absurd, and it's one of the biggest mistakes that they've made in recent times. Something needs to be done to the people who thought this was a good idea. Literally. But let me know what you think about this down below, guys, and hopefully we can spread democracy with our Steam brothers in arms in the future.